Yes, finally, it's here. The movie that we wanted to call Fast 10 Your Seatbelts, but they didn't give us that. It's Fast X. We are not going to spoil anything in this review because we would not play you like that.
No.
But join us here next Wednesday at noon Pacific, where we do all the spoilers because I know you're going to have questions. We certainly do.
These have been fun. I've been enjoying our little spoiler chat. So you got to make sure that you subscribe so you don't forget a thing, and make sure you can join us for that. Yeah, we've done spoiler chats for Beau's Afraid and Guardians, and you definitely want to talk about this one.
The great Dom Toretto. If you never would have gotten behind that wheel, I'd never be the man I am today.
Fast X. I'm going to describe this as simply as possible because there's a lot going on here. Basically, this has its roots in Fast Five. And so Jason Momoa is the son of Joaquim de Almeida, who was the drug kingpin, who was killed at the end of the big, lengthy vault chase through the streets of Rio. We see some pieces of that in the beginning of this here. And like pieces of it are actually just the film, and pieces of it, like they put Jason Momoa into it. Anyways, it's pretty seamless. I gotta say, it's pretty well done. So you realize like this is his supervillain origin story, is that he is the son of this guy. He wants his revenge. He's been waiting for the last 4 movies to get his revenge. And now here he is. And so his whole thing is he knows how important #family is to Dom. And so his whole raison d'etre is to break up the family, split them all up, send them on wild goose chases, take their money, destroy them all. I mean, his family, his actual wife, Letty, and son, Little B, but also like everyone who comes to dinner, everyone who comes to dinner on Sundays, right? Yes. If you have sat down and had a Corona at Dom Toretto's table, you are a target of Jason Momoa's character, whose name is Dante.
Yes.
And so that is what it is. And it's the globe hopping they have to do to chase him. It's the banter in between and the tech and the crazy car flips and explosions and chases and hot women gyrating in short shorts. I mean, basically everything you want is in this movie. And this is such a huge bounce back from F9. I went back and I rewatched our F9 review before we did this here today. And it felt like such a letdown. If, you know, like 7 is so emotional, like 5 and 6 were so nutty, 7 is so emotional, 8's kind of 9's even worse. This feels like a real return to form here. Although Louis Leterrier had to like step in with 5 days before production for Justin Lin was going to direct this. He's done, you know, really the important ones that set this series on its trajectory of just absolute insanity.
And he co-writes this one.
He co-writes this one. So there's a lot was already like in the works. And then we have a new director now. And I think it feels pretty seamless. It doesn't feel like it's stitched together. It doesn't feel clunky. It does all the crazy stuff that you want it to do. Jason Momoa is amazing in this. He's having a total blast. I've never seen him be funny before. And he's just having a hoot of a time here. Yeah,
in the early scenes where we're introduced to Dante within the context of Fast Five, he's doing a lot of glowering. And I remember thinking, oh, no. We've already got Vin Diesel. We don't need any more glowering.
Yeah.
But then cut to later or the present when he is going nuts. And it is a big, showy, wacky performance. I refer to him in my review at the Film Verdict as a manic pixie nightmare boy. Because he is just like, you know, he's got the nails and he is as goosey as Dom is butch. And like, is he queer? Who knows? Who even knows? But he's definitely playing around with this notion of like untraditional masculinity and just eating up every bit of the scenery while doing it. So yeah, he's a blast. Leterrier, I mean, you know, like if you go back to like The Transporter, this is a guy who gets this kind of movie, and it feels like this is sort of the first time he's gotten as big a box of crayons as he has needed to really just go to town with this. They've racked up so many characters over the course of this franchise. Like they keep adding them. There's even new ones in this one, you know, and so they have to find time for all that, which is why now we find out this isn't just a 2-part; it's a 3-part finale. to this franchise. When we did our stand-up at the theater last night, I said it's like Avengers Endgame crossed with Love Actually. And somehow you always know where people are, why they're there, where they're going, where they've been, who they have to find. That's a lot to juggle, and this movie makes all of that work. And it gives you all of the sort of logic-defying, gravity-defying stunts and action sequences that you want. So this is a movie that absolutely delivers. It is the platonic ideal of the dumb summer blockbuster. And it's, I think, the first one since 5 that I want to go see again.
Yeah, I think I still like 7 best of all. I mean, 5 is nuts
Okay.
and a blast. And like watching that big vault heist again, I'm like, oh yeah, that was cool. Like that was really, really well done. But here we have, and again, it's in the trailers, like this giant rolling bomb through the streets of Rome. It is so insane. But again, that speaks to what you were just saying about like how thrilling and also cohesive the action sequences are, because it'd be easy to be like, wait, what's happening now, and what is this?
Who's
and
why? Yeah.
and you're always into it. You're always like, what's going to happen next? How are they going to get out of this? I mean, yes, it's insane, but you wouldn't have a good time if it weren't insane. Of course, it defies the laws of physics. Like 2 giant fuel trucks slamming into each other, and then Dom drives down a dam to avoid them. Like, it's insane. I mean, but again, you care. One thing I think this thing does better than the previous one, too, is balancing actual stakes, like actual emotional stakes, with the action. Like last time they introduced John Cena as the long lost brother that nobody had ever talked about previously. Right. And we're supposed to care about that dynamic and how heart-wrenching or, remorseful that is. And here, the stuff with Dom's family, you do care about them. You do care about Little B. Yeah. And so I think they balance that in terms of tone better. We still haven't addressed where Paul Walker is.
I was going to say, he's not even mentioned this time. Like, they've tried to keep that character alive off camera the whole time, which is a choice. But now it's like, we don't talk about
Brian. No. Yeah, before he's like, oh, Brian's busy babysitting the kids. Like, they don't, I mean, like, Mia's back.
Yeah. And she gets more to do for once. I was thrilled that Jordana Brewster actually gets to like knock out some bad guys.
I feel like she did an F9 too, but even more so here.
But yeah, I love to see her getting to do stuff. We get Rita Moreno now as Grandma Toretto. Brie Larson is here with her own agenda. Charlize Theron is back. Helen Mirren's back, Jason Statham. I mean, like, again, it's just this insane Rolodex at this point of all these characters that they have to like work into the plot, and they do it.
Yeah, no, I had a really good time and was just laughing my ass off the whole way through, and like actually wanted to clap at one point. This is the end of one big action thing. I'm like, you pulled that off. Good job. So I am going to say like an 8.8.
Yeah, 8.6. Okay. I had a very good time. And again, if you checked out of these movies a few episodes back and just are not down for what they're doing, you're not going to be down for what this one's doing. But if you are completely in on the kookiness of this whole thing, then you'll get plate after plate of it.
Yeah, this is a great return, I think. And of course, there are going to be 2 more, and you've got to stay through the credits because something happens in the credits. So be sure to come back, mark your calendar. Next Wednesday, we will be back here with a whole full-on spoiler talk. So join us then.